Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm thrilled you took some time out of your day to spend a little bit of time here with me. Today's video is how to wear full coverage foundation without looking cakey. There are some tips and tricks that I use on a regular basis because I wear full coverage foundation a lot. I work in a professional setting, and sometimes when I am applying makeup, I just want it to go on and cover everything and kind of be no nonsense. And that is what full coverage foundation can be if you follow some of these tips and tricks that I have discovered to where it does not look cakey. I never have the problem of it looking cakey. I just don't. I think that if you follow these tips that I'm about to show you, you too will be able to wear full coverage foundation with absolutely no problem. So if you're interested in seeing how I do that, hit that subscribe button and here we go. Okay, so I have all my skincare on, and I'm not going to go through all of my skincare, but I will say this. A full coverage foundation, or any foundation, or any makeup for that matter, is going to look better when your skin is balanced. So I recommend figuring out your skin, figuring out your skincare, getting your skin in order. Now I realize, mine's not completely in order. I have redness that I'm going to be dealing with. I have broken capillaries. I have sunspots. But as far as dryness, my skin is pretty balanced because I take care of my skin. I think that you can get dryness under control. I think you can get dehydration under control. And if you have any questions about that, please list them in the comments below and I will try to help you. There's a wealth of knowledge on the internet about your skin and getting it in order. And I think that the better your makeup looks has to do with the foundation that you're putting it on, not so much the foundation. Okay, so with that being said, you need a good primer. I know some people kind of go back and forth on primer, but I feel like primer is very important when you are doing a full coverage foundation look. So I like to do, depending on my skin, if I feel like my skin is a little bit more dehydrated or dry that day, if I am doing a full coverage foundation, I'm reaching for a hydrating primer. No questions asked. It's what I need. It's what I need to make this foundation not look cakey, not stick to dry spots. If my skin is really good, like it is today, and like I said, really good, we're using those terms loosely here. Something like a dewy primer. I've picked up two right here from the drugstore. One is the Photo Focus Face Primer by Wet n Wild. The other one is Prime and Fine New Glow Primer by Catrice. Both are great options and they for sure do not break the bank. The one that I, though, have been reaching for a ton, and the one that I'm going to use today, is the Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer Moisturizer. This is by First Aid Beauty, and I just love it. I just can't say enough good things about it. And I just take it and just make sure to really work it into my skin. So it gives me a little bit of luminosity, nothing too much, but I can also feel that it is slightly moisturizing, which is a good thing when you are doing a full coverage foundation. So the full coverage foundation that I am going to be showing you how I apply it today is the Super Stay Maybelline 24-Hour Full Coverage Complete. Looks like this. It is one of my favorite ones, and it is from the drugstore. I love it. I have it in the shade 128 Warm Nude. One of the things that I will do is take an illuminator, a liquid illuminator. Like this one is from Ulta Beauty. It's the Liquid Illuminator Bright Lights, and I will mix it with the full coverage foundation. You also could mix one of your primers with it, no problem. Just to kind of thin it out a little bit. It still, I find, does not really thin out the coverage, but it thins out the consistency to where it's easier to work with. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go straight in with the foundation, but that is another option of something that you can do. Now, the key, what I consider to be of the utmost importance when you are doing a full coverage foundation routine, is a damp sponge. This one is by Flower Beauty. It has definitely seen better days. I like the L'Oreal one. I like Beauty Blender, but a damp sponge, in my opinion, really is a game changer for full coverage foundation. You can still get the full coverage, but it definitely helps with the cakiness. So it helps keep your skin not looking cakey, not looking like you have on makeup face, a more natural look, but still full coverage. So I'm going to pop some of this on the back of my hand, this foundation. I just put some right there, and I'm gonna take the sponge, dip it in, and this is the way I like to do it, and then I just press it onto the skin. And I'm doing it in patting motions, taking it on the eyelid, under the eye. And y'all, I'm going in with some more on the back of my hand. And I will say, it's raining. I don't know if y'all can hear that. This sponge does eat up some of the foundation, but I find applying it like this, you really do get that true full coverage foundation look that you want without it being cakey. I think if you were to dab this on and then go in with a beauty blender, you were definitely going to shear it out more. This way you are still getting that full coverage without it being cakey. And you just keep doing this. You know, just keep, as long as you need to, tapping it in. I would say really at this point I'm not really adding any more. I'm just tapping it to make it really push into the skin. But I think you can see that it has covered up my sunspot. I mean, it's peeking through a tiny bit. I may take a little bit more foundation to just focus right there and right there on that redness and over here. These are the areas where I have the most discoloration. But I'm just really working this in to the skin. Okay, now that the foundation is on, I'm moving on to concealer. Now, when I wear a full coverage foundation, I don't find that I need to conceal or spot conceal around my face. So that is not needed. Some days I don't even conceal under my eyes because I don't necessarily think that that is needed either. But for today's purposes for this video, I am going in with the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer by Flower Beauty. So I like to go in with something that is not so heavy. Now, while this still says that it's full coverage, I still like something that might have a little bit of glow to it, which I feel like this does. So going back in with the damp sponge, I am just going to, again, same motions, pat, 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 to just work that concealer around the eye and working it into the skin. Now, I like to set my face. You don't have to do this step, but for me, I need this makeup to last. When I put my makeup on in the morning, I need it to last, so I like to set it. One thing I like to think about and I like to use when I do a full coverage foundation is a translucent powder. I think it works better than a pressed powder. I just think it goes on smoother and it helps not to look quite so cakey. Now, another thing to take it a step further is a glowy powder, and this is really about the only one that I know of on the market, the Laura Mercier Translucent Glow. So that's the one I'm going to use. You do not have to go out and purchase this, y'all. You can use the RCMA No Color Powder. That one's great. I use that one. You can use the Coty Airspun. There are a lot of different options out there, but I just really do like the look of a translucent powder. I try to get off as much, like I shape my brush to get off as much as possible. And then again, we are dabbing, okay? Because I don't want to move this foundation. We are dabbing. And we are going in with a very light hand. And you see me press on my face. What I'm doing there is I am seeing if this feels like it is set. Once it feels like it's set, I'm done. So I use a very small amount, but It gives me the amount of set that I need. Another key that I have found for, or I should say a tip, for wearing a full coverage foundation is a facial mist, whether it be a setting spray or a mist. I feel like it helps everything just kind of sink in. Now, I would do this at the end before I put on mascara, but since I'm going to come back and show you the finished look, I'm going to go ahead and mist my face. This is the Marc Jacobs Coconut Setting Spray. So it just kind of helps everything kind of sink in to your skin. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop off camera. I'm going to finish my face, slap on some eye makeup, and I'll be back and show you the final look. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is the finished look. I have applied bronzer, blush, highlight, eyes, lips, mascara, done. This is the finished look doing the full coverage foundation that I just showed you. I wear this all the time. No problem. It is super easy. You just need to keep in mind some essential steps to where the foundation does not look cakey. If you enjoyed this type of video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week, and I will see you all soon. Bye, y'all.